Hey, double hey, San Francisco Bay, Monterey. My name's Alexander.
And I'm Dr. Shasta.
And we're back with another episode of Your Healthy Living.
Yes.
Here in wonderful San Jose, Campbell, California.
And it's summertime now, and I like that.
It's summertime. I'm glad it's not as hot as it was this weekend because
my gosh.
I'm wearing a jacket today, and I'm not... you like this?
I
It's
do.
kinda
I
me,
like
huh?
the
like my little
flag.
pin here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a little patriotic. It's voting day today,
Yes.
so we got to.
I did vote. Did you vote?
I have not yet. There's a couple of bonds that I wanted to look over real careful before I voted. You know, because I want to be educated. I don't want to just go, yeah, that looks good. Here we go.
Yeah. Well, we have one of my best friend on today.
Best friends, best.
Randy Hold's childhood elementary friend Jake Hartinger is on our show today. Hey, welcome, Jake.
Hi, great to be here.
Welcome, Jake. You're a best friend first removed. I like that.
Yeah, Randy and Jake grew up in Saratoga together.
Oh, Saratoga.
Yep, they're locals, and Jake lives up in Palo Alto now, and Randy's over in Texas, Austin, Texas. But they still work together. They do healing retreats, and Jake, I was at one of them with Jake, and he taught us some Kundalini that was really powerful and actually really, really hard.
You know, it's weird. I would think.
Not to say all of your Kundalini is hard, Jake, but we were holding poses a long time. He gets up at 4 a.m.
So it's Kundalini yoga.
Kundalini yoga.
Okay, so that's what we're talking about.
He's a certified Kundalini yoga teacher and certified in a couple other healing modalities we're going to learn about that I've never even heard of.
See, because I always learned that Kundalini was that part of the energy that spirals up your spine. Am I getting close or am I way far?
That's it.
That's it. All right. Because when I do my meditation and I pull it up from my base chakra all the way up to my crown, I do know a little bit about that stuff.
You do. Of course you do. There's no accident we're on this show together.
No, we do a little meditation here and there.
I know you do.
Know?
I know I do.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, so Jake, tell us about who you are and how you got into this Kundalini, being a certified Kundalini teacher, and why? What gets you up at 4 a.m. to stand in a pose for 2 hours to strengthen your chi energy? I know he's the real hardcore deal.
Oh my gosh!
Actually, well,
wow.
we want to know.
It's the best part of my day. I mean, it just connects me, in the morning with my soul, with my consciousness, and it just makes my whole day smooth out into this nice flow where, my soul is doing the work and I just can kind of sit back and relax. And, that's called liberation. It's very liberating,
I bet.
To be able to do that. You have to do the work 2 hours in the morning, and maybe you don't have to do it all the time, but, I love it.
Wow, 2 hours. So you actually hold a single pose for 2 hours, or do you a group of them?
Yeah, well, in the Kundalini tradition, there's something called it's called sadhana, which can be anything. Really, it just means morning practice. And different individuals do different things. The traditional way starts out with something called japji, where you recite a prayer of the soul in Gurmukhi, which is actually part of the Sikh religion that I've kind of adopted and enjoy. And then I'll do some physical exercises, breathing for about 45 minutes, possibly some mantra. And then I'll do a meditation, maybe 31 minutes or maybe up to an hour.
Well, we're going to go meditate at a commercial, and we'll be right back.
At Way of Wellness, we help to rebalance the hormones of your body so that it can heal itself. Way of Wellness offers acupuncture, Chinese medicine, functional nutrition, chi yoga, and wellness coaching. Call 408-615-1995 and start living the life that keeps us well.
Hey, double hey, San Francisco Bay, Monterey. My name's Alexander.
And I'm Dr. Shasta.
And we're back with Your Healthy Living, being very zen today.
It is. We really are having some real energy healers on today.
Yes, I'm really enjoying this kind of this relaxing thing, although I'm not sure how relaxed I could be holding a pose for 2 hours. I'm wondering, how does that...
They build their strength up.
So you weren't able to do that from the
really,
beginning,
really strong.
were you?
No, I mean, Kundalini can be pretty tough, and some of the things I still can't do, but I just do them for however long I can do them, and try and build up the time to the recommended time, and a lot of times I can get there. A lot of times I haven't gotten there. I don't worry about it. I do what I can do, but I do it for what I love, and I love doing it for 2 hours in the morning. Many people do.
Wow.
So when did you come back to this? I know that when I met you, you said you'd been doing yoga when you were younger, and then you kind of went away from it, and then you felt this calling. Do you want to share a little bit about that?
Sure. I mean, when I was younger, typical maybe teenager, college student, I was into the hippie thing. I was smoking weed and drinking and maybe a few other things, and I wanted to be enlightened, and I found yoga. I found meditation. I was about 19 to 20 years old. And I found Kundalini yoga, and it was a practice that I really enjoyed for a while. And then I gradually kind of phased out of it for a couple different reasons. Things were changing in my life. And then about 7 or 8 years ago, I just found I was living the Silicon Valley lifestyle with all this pressure, all this stress. And I was unhappy. I was unhappy with, my job, my family, my wife, really just I was unhappy with myself. And I knew I could go back to this Kundalini yoga practice and get my life back together. And I did it, and I'm doing it. And I'm glad, I'm sure glad I did.
And has it transformed all of those areas of your life that you were unhappy with? Like, share a little bit about what you notice, like your perspective changing, your energy changing, your vibration changing, and how that has affected all those different areas of your life. Because yoga is union with God, and it is a science of peace. So I think this is one of the most important things people can do is learn yoga. So what did you notice since you've been practicing in all those areas?
Well, everything just becomes easier. You just become more relaxed. It's more of a flow. You can let things happen, but also things around you change. Relationships change. Your communication changes. My kids actually are doing better. My relationship with my wife is better. My job is easier. And I'm healthier. And I'm happier. So I don't know what else to ask for.
Do you attribute it to that you're just having more happiness, more love, and it's affecting the relationships around you?
I think it's I think there's a certain. That's a good question. I mean, it's a certain amount of consciousness that maybe in light that comes to the relationships. And healing that comes that you're able to bring into those other people and those relationships. But it's also just the behavior that's changed in you as well. And, how well you communicate and work with other people and be with other people and, in more of a authentic way.
Right.
Does part of your ritual include diet? I mean, is that part of the whole process of, I guess, practice for lack of a better term?
Yeah, it helps, but I don't think it's the most important thing. When I did my level 1 teacher training, we signed a paper saying, as teachers, we will not drink alcohol, we will not take drugs, and we will be vegetarians. And many of the people in the class kind of looked at it and go,
I bet.
And I looked at it, and I don't know, I'm a little bit older, and I'd been there before, not drinking, and I just go, okay, bam, and I signed it, and I just let go. And so I've been a vegetarian, don't drink, don't smoke, for a while now, and 7 years. And Yeah, your diet changes a little bit. You're more aware of your digestion and how that affects you, and you become more sensitive in your body, and you naturally want to eat healthier foods, and
right.
And I just think that's almost a byproduct, but it's
Right.
not a fasting kind of a thing all the time. But a lot of people do that, and that's good too.
But the awareness comes to you through understanding your body better, through spirit, God, whatever, that you don't really have that desire to do something to it that you know will disrupt that function. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, none at all. I mean, no desire for alcohol or pot or meat I need food to sustain my body, and I find that the healthiest things make me feel the best. So that's what I eat.
Yeah, that's a cool feeling too,
That is
because when somebody is really sick and then they get to feel better, there is a long period of time, and it would be nice if you could get the mind to that same state as your body just wanting to go, hey, you know what?
Right.
Just like when you have a hangover, it's like, oh, I'm not drinking today, right? That's not going to happen because you don't want it for your body. So I think I have a quick question too. Kundalini, how is that any different than some of the other forms of yoga?
Kundalini encompasses kind of a lot of different forms of kind of spiritual practices that are known. There's Hatha yoga, which is mainly just physical stretching kind of types of poses, but also breathing, I think. Iyengar. But there's other forms of yoga, including mantra. If you take yoga in the meaning of union, there's mantra, chanting, breathing, pranayama exercises. There's meditation, going inward, and things like that are also included in Kundalini yoga. And we do different sets of physical exercises that we call kriyas, which are a set of poses that involve, stretching or exercising in a certain way combined with breathing types of exercises, and even perhaps mudras, hand positions, or even, specific eye focuses. All different kinds of things are encompassed. We have something called Mul Band, where you mentioned pulling up the energy, pulling up your Kundalini energy by actually tensing up your navel point, your sex organ, and your rectum. You can kind of pull that energy up your spine. You can actually feel it up into your heart, up into your third eye, up into your crown chakra when you do that, when you're practicing Kundalini yoga. So there's a lot of different things you can do.
So do you have students that come to classes with you up there in Palo Alto? I know you were teaching.
I teach at a place called One Heart Yoga, which is a place in Menlo Park at the Little House on I think Middle Avenue or something. There's a One Heart Yoga website that you can look at the schedule. I'm teaching in June again, or late in June I'm teaching again.
And you and Randy and Chris.
I love helping people with meditations and specific exercises that they might be good for them. Kundalini yoga has many different meditations and exercises that can help you with many different things.
And can people consult you for you to guide them with those?
Sure, I'd love to help anyone.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Well, we're going to have a commercial break.
Yeah, we're going to have a commercial break in just a little bit. One thing I did want to touch on was if she said this before, you're probably more physical fit than a lot of athletes.
Oh my gosh,
I'm
you can't
just
even
because of
imagine
doing
the
this.
poses
Is this
that he
right?
does.
I mean, do you feel that way?
I was a triathlete for 7 years, and I was actually pretty good. Triathletes couldn't do a lot of these exercises. But then again, I couldn't go run 26 miles again either.
So it's kind of based on your training, and that makes good sense. That makes really good sense.
People can build up to it.
Yeah. Well, I'm almost up to 500 push-ups now.
What?
We're going to be right back after this commercial break.
That's awesome. Good job.
I do traditional Chinese medicine, and that includes 5 different branches: acupuncture, massage, yoga, tai chi, qigong, herbal medicine, and nutrition. it is amazing in helping the body heal itself, that it releases the body's natural endorphins, serotonin, and seems to rebalance the hormones of the body.
Lower back pain was taken care of very quickly. 6 treatments and I was pain-free. And this was like 3 years ago and I've remained pain-free.
I've grown up in the Bay Area and I have had my own practice for over 15 years. When I was 12, I decided I want to be an acupuncturist, and by the time I was 25, I was licensed.
I have thyroid condition and stress, big time. When I walk out, I'm feeling like a whole different person. It's definitely a blessing to be able to come here.
I love helping women have babies, and the day that they actually get pregnant, the look in their eye is like, it's the best thing ever.
I've been struggling trying to get pregnant for the past 3 or 4 years. I came to Shasta. I would totally recommend her to anyone out there that is trying to get pregnant. She will do great for you.
Way of Wellness has to do with living a life that keeps us well.
Hi there, this is Alexander with It's All About the Show. You know, I've been with Money Concepts since 1994, and they have been the primary catalyst for my success as a financial advisor. If you're looking for a career change and you want to help people for a living, check out moneyconcepts.com/ALEE or call 946-8378 today.
Hey, everybody. My name's Alexander.
And I'm Dr. Shasta.
And we're back with Your Healthy Living, having fun, talking about Kundalini.
Kundalini Yoga.
Kundalini Yoga,
with
the
Jake
energy.
Hartinger.
And I do know a little bit about Kundalini because I did a lot of studying about it. And it involves the Taoist kind of tantric aspect of Buddhism.
Is that part you would know about, right?
Well, I
got it.
I'm just because I remember Kundalini and Shakti and Shiva were the two gods or something in there. I was trying to remember because I read the book 10 years ago.
Jackie Brown on here, and she said Kundalini Yoga is the oldest form of yoga.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Remember, I think it was like 5,000 years old and was reserved for the kings and the queens, and very, very precious because of how health and vitality and the ability to reproduce, which is what health and vitality does, is so highly treasured.
And
so,
where Tantra comes from and
bingo.
where all that. Okay.
Yep. Because
so it's not necessarily a bad thing, folks.
No, it's not a bad thing at all. Health and vitality and fertility are all
health
connected.
Health is good. Hello.
They're all connected. So, and I'm a fertility specialist with acupuncture.
She is. So
and
she's a Tantra and acupuncturist.
There we go.
I can't say it.
So, Jake, we want to know about these you're doing a couple of healing modalities, and we can't really pronounce them.
Yeah,
Andy
I can.
And I
Wait,
were
hold on. I think
Satnam
Rasayan.
Satnam Rasayan.
Something like that.
So,
Satnam Rasayan is one, and Soul Answer Healing are two sort of healing paths I'm working on right now, and I'm certified initially in Satnam Rasayan.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about what those are and how the everyday person may benefit from those things, along with your coaching as a Kundalini yoga teacher. Like how the everyday person could integrate these things into their life to make their life better.
Sure. So I think, both of these healing modalities are a sense, working on something deeper than physical suffering, like pain or cancer or disease of any kind. And they're working on, what we can call energy blocks, and, a lot of healing or energy healing, talks about energy blocks and the energy that's moving through your system. And you have these 7 chakras in your system, and they have their energy centers within your body. And that energy can be blocked as a result of early childhood traumas, perhaps even past life experiences, although, we don't necessarily talk about those. It can be blocked by just, a number of different circumstances. And that block can create, behavior in you that's undesirable, or it can cause physical disease and physical ailment. So what we're doing with these healing modalities is we're trying to remove or allow a person to remove those subconscious patterns and blocks or trances to become healthier and happier in their lives.
So, if somebody was, working in a high-tech company and they're putting 10, 12 hours a day in, how would they utilize you? Would they get coaching from you once a week to learn about some of the Kundalini yoga? Would you do some of this Sat Nam Rasayan healing on them?
That was good.
Thank you. It sounded like I was rapping.
It's I got it.
But it was like, But anyway, how do you see yourself being of service to the everyday American?
Yeah, well, I think it's kind of like a life coach approach. Understand what a person is going through, where they are and what they want. And then, maybe work with them to do a certain meditation or a certain, yoga exercise. Try and, get them to do 11 minutes a day, but also, use Sat Nam Rasayan, which is just a very silent, it's not even energy. It is a healing method that you're just going into a state of quietness, of solitude. We call it shunya. And you are sort of merging with this other person mentally. And that allows you to go into a state of where just healing occurs. I mean, you're not healing anything, but it's just a state where healing occurs. And that helps, can remove these unconscious or these blocks or even physical healing. That we call them resistances. And we call them tendencies or blocks, and you might find resistances that you can remove or allow that to flow, or tendencies that you can remove. And as a result, that person will be, can be healthier, happier, and healthier in their lives, and go on with being themselves, being more of their true, authentic self. There's the other soul answer healing. Actually uses a little bit more communication with the person, and that's something I'm learning right now. And can even use spirit guides to allow to communicate through you, to ask them questions, or to let them see a part of themselves that they need to see and unblock and free up. So that's another method I'm working on right now. But it's like a combination of all three.
And that's a certified program, the Soul Answering Healing. Is that a national program or international? Or is that?
It's kind of a very low-key program. It's part of Kundalini Yoga. Sat Nam Rasayan and Soul Answer Healing are both kind of modalities of Kundalini Yoga.
Okay.
They're not nationally recognized, but Kundalini Yoga certainly is. Certified yoga program.
Right.
Sat Nam Rasayan, I think, is a certified healing program, and Soul Answer Healing, I think I'm going through a 3-year program which will allow me to be a nationally recognized yoga therapist.
Right. Well, on the cover of Newsweek, a year ago, was this thing that was about a brand new type of psychotherapy, and it talked about, and I sent it to Randy, it talked about this new psychotherapy that they find to be more powerful than traditional psychotherapy, which is using spirit guides and shamanic and subconscious ability for the person to go into themselves, and even use examples of shamanistic type, like a hawk.
That didn't have anything to do with like ayahuasca or
no,
anything,
it didn't. But they were saying on the cover of Newsweek that this therapy is working much better than traditional therapy because it's using the person's own subconscious imagination and the powers of nature and plants and animals to help them feel even more powerful and connected.
So it's got to be a state of meditation or almost self-hypnosis. Is that?
It was almost like a shamanistic type psychotherapy experience where they did use, and it was literally they're finding like rape victims healing up much, much better using these therapies,
Really?
which sounds kind of like what Jake is describing, that it's something kind of more holistic, integrative.
I think that it's interesting
You know
that
what I mean?
what you're talking about on these healings and with the Kundalini aspect, you're not using drugs or even natural things. There's no mushrooms or
It's just
like
they're
ayahuasca, like
they're
we
drug
said.
free, alcohol free, and eat. So yeah,
Because that's more, I guess, the Indian,
Yeah.
Mexican and American Indian side, where they utilize those to
right.
meditate to the gods or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I think drugs can be very powerful. I mean, I don't know if you know this author, Michael Pollan. He's a famous author about food and nature, and he just wrote a book about utilizing things like psilocybin, peyote.
But Jake, that's not what I mean. That's not at all what you are doing, though. You are actually drug-free alcohol. That's what I like about Kundalini. I'm much more a proponent of what you're doing, Kundalini yoga, over these uses of drugs, because honestly, those things could damage people. They are not 100% safe, and I don't think that they're. I mean, I'm sure that there's people who know how to guide people, but I generally disagree with using drugs to get
That's
you
what
to an
happened to
altered
me in the
state.
70s.
I'm sorry, I generally disagree.
Obviously, you disagree. Hey, how do we get a hold of you? How do we get a hold of you, Jake? If somebody wants to talk to you.
What's your phone number?
Well, you can. I'm on Facebook, Jake Hardinger, and my phone number is 650-722-0447. Feel free to text me if you have any questions.
And you could create a customized program for people on Zoom or in person, correct?
Yeah, with no drugs.
Yes, no
Yeah,
drugs.
peace.
Thanks for joining us
I know I'm a child of the
on Your
60s,
Healthy
but
Living.
I
Don't
don't
forget
recommend it, people.
KIYSradio.com. Have a good one. Take care. Thanks for
Bye,
joining
Jake.
us. Bye-bye.
It's great to have you.